Hi everyone! We're going to get started in a few minutes. In the meantime, just gather the ingredients listed in the chat. So we've got shredded coconut, butterscotch chips, milk, eggs, white chocolate chips, berries of choice, sugar, and lemon juice. So just gather those ingredients. We've also got our equipment here. We've got over here a metal bowl, a measuring cup, it can be 2 or 1 cups, a metal mixer, a larger metal bowl, 2 spoons, a potato masher, a wooden spoon, and a small whisk. Hi, Sarah. So, yeah, the potato masher and the whisk are optional. You can substitute the potato masher for a fork and the whisk also for a fork. And you can just use a large spoon if you don't have a wooden spoon. Let me just quickly adjust the camera. Okay, that is pretty good. Good enough for now. Let's move everything over a bit. Okay, I think let's get started. Okay, so can anyone guess what we're making based on the equipment and the ingredients? Okay, well today we're going to be making a kosher for Passover chocolate cake. Yes, a kosher for Passover chocolate cake. For those of you who don't celebrate Passover, that means that there's no flour, like barely anything. It's a 2-ingredient chocolate cake, not an hour chocolate cake, because we're going to have a little twist to it. But basically all it is melted chocolate and whipped eggs, and it's really cool. So yeah, so our first step is going to be making our berry coulis. So for this specific cake, we're going to do a white chocolate cake with a mixed-in berry coulis to add some interesting and unique flavor to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started by first we're going to preheat the oven. We're going to preheat it to, let me just check quickly. We're going to preheat it to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, just turn your dial there, and now we can get started with the coulis. So for the coulis, we're going to be needing a few strawberries or raspberries or any type of berry that you like. You can use fruit, but make sure that it's like mushy fruit because it's important for this specific recipe. I'm going to get a small saucepan. One second. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's my small saucepan. I'm going to put, let's do 4 berries, but I'm not going to put them straight in. I want to get rid of the stem, so I'm going to get a straw. If you watched my last video, you've heard of this trick. It's basically the best trick for pouring strawberries. Take your straw, stick it down through the middle, up through the top, and you have poured the strawberries. Oh, I missed it that time, but I can redo it. Right, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to gather my scraps for later and throw that right in the pan. I'll do the second one now. And just push that out. All right, second one. Okay, just again. But I can just like that. Right. Pop it in the pan. I'm gonna push out my strawberry core into the trash. It's that easy. And let's do our last 2 strawberries real quick. Ah, there we go. That's perfect. Look at that. Look at that. The leaves came right up with the straw. That's what your goal is. And last one. There we go. It's always good to core your strawberries, even if you don't get the stem, just to get that hardness out of there, because I don't know if you realize it, but it is there. I'm going to take my potato masher, and I'm just going to mash my strawberries. These strawberries aren't super soft, but I'm still able to mash them. You want to get them pretty mashed, like fine chunks. You can even get a knife if you want to break up the chunks, since there is a bit of a skin on your strawberries. If you're using raspberries, I'm sure that this is a lot easier for you, because they tend to be mushier and you don't even have to core them, so that's nice. As you can see, I still have chunks in here. They're pretty small, but I want to get them out as much as possible. All right, that should be good. It's not a puree, obviously, but it's pretty mashed. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw out my stems and my straw, because I have no need for them anymore. And now I'm going to grab some granulated sugar. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. You've got a tablespoon. And now pour it out. Always pour out over whatever you're using. This is going to take a little while. All right, almost done with it. I'm going to adjust this box because it's seeming to be difficult. I know I should be measuring over my container. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh no, that's bad, whatever. There we go. All right. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. Perfect. Now that might look like a lot of sugar, but if we really want to get that caramelization, we want a lot of sugar. And it's going to be nice and sweet and delicious. So I'm just going to mix the sugar in with my strawberries. Since strawberries have their own natural liquid, we want that sugar to almost dissolve inside of the strawberries. And then I'm going to get some lemon juice. I like to add lemon juice just to add back a little bit of that tartness. Because what are strawberries without tartness? What are any fruits or berries without tartness? Except for maybe watermelon. Maybe watermelon doesn't have a tartness to it. Okay, so I'm just pouring that in. It's okay if you spill a little like me. because you can basically never have too much lemon juice. I know that that is totally not true, but it is to me. Smells lemony. Okay, so now you can see we have this liquid. It's a liquid now, but it definitely has chunks. So now I'm going to put it over the heat. Let's put it on. Let's put it on a medium heat. So if you have numbers, that would be a 5. And I'm just going to let that sit there for a little. Since the sugar is dissolved into the liquid, it's going to caramelize and form this delicious syrup texture. It can, if you add enough sugar, it can even turn into like a jam, as like what it turned into last time I made it. I'm kind of obsessed with coulis because I just find them so cool and so amazing that you can just do that, you know? Okay, so now our next step is going to actually to make the cake, right? So we're going to add 9 ounces of white chocolate chips. So I'm just going to get my scale. Always love a good scale. Get a bowl, a microwave safe bowl so that we can microwave our chocolate chips. And just turn on the scale after you place the bowl so that it can zero out. Just wait for it to go to 0. All right, 0 grams. I don't want grams, I want ounces. There we go. Ounces. Okay, so I'm going to cut open my chocolate chips, and I'm going to just pour it until I get 9 ounces. Smells like white chocolate. I know a lot of people don't like the flavor of white chocolate, but I think it's going to be really good with the coulis. Oh, 8.99. Okay, let's put in, now 9.22. 9.22. All right, whatever. That's good enough. I'm going to just throw these out because they were all over my dirty towel as we got them. All right. I'm going to set these aside, close them up with a chip clip. Just like this. And I'm going to take my chocolate chips off of the scale. We can set that scale aside because we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to pop my chocolate chips in the microwave for like about a minute. So I'm just going to put it in for a minute, check on it. Maybe you might need more. You can see that the coulis is starting to bubble. That's good. We want it to fully start to boil before we can lower the heat and mix it, because this way it has a chance to caramelize. So yeah, so we also need to whip the eggs for this cake. So why don't we do that? So we're gonna take 4 eggs. We need 4 eggs and 2 new bowls. 1 for the yolks and 1 for the whites, because I don't know if you guys know, but you really can't separate. Oh, that's great. It's fine. You really can't separate. You really can't whip eggs if they have the yolk. I'm gonna take my metal bowl because it's whip safe, and I'm gonna get my 4 eggs. Oh, look at that. My chocolate's already done. I'm going to get my 4 eggs quickly, and then we can go check on the chocolate. The microwave is screaming at me to get the chocolate out. I'm going to ignore it for a little while. All right, I've got my eggs. Let's go check on our chocolate. Oh, our coulis is starting to boil. So I'm just going to leave it for a little while longer. It's fine if it boils more. Okay, so I've got my chocolate. It's very hot, so I used, what are those called? I don't know. Pot holders? Okay. This is definitely not fully melted. I mean, a bit of it is melted at the bottom, but I think I'm going to need to put it in again for probably, I'm going to say another minute. If it's like going this slow, I'm going to say a minute. I'm just using my extra measuring tool to push the extra chocolate chips out of my little whisk. That's annoying. You don't like that. You don't want to waste. Alright, pot holders. Okay, I'm going to put it back in for one more minute. And now let's go back to our coulis. This is what it should look like. It's really bubbly and boiling. Oh, it stopped the second I took it off. Alright, I'm going to take my whisk. It's fine if these get mixed because they're going to be mixed in the end anyways. I'm just going to mix it, but I'm not going to lower the heat yet. I want to continue to put it over this heat so that it can reboil and continue to get thicker and thicker. All right, where were we? We were separating eggs. I'm going to crack my first egg. Always crack your eggs against the table. It's like the best way to crack your eggs. I'm going to throw this out. And once again, you know what? Let's separate the yolk first. Pro tip. I'm not a pro, but this is a pro tip. Separate the yolks from the whites with your hands. It's actually a lot easier since obviously your fingers are separated, so it's perfect to get those whites out and to get a clean yolk. That should be good. This is icky stuff. Do not lick your fingers while you're separating eggs. And any time that you're dealing with eggs, you want to make sure, that's not good. You want to get that immediately. Oh, God. That's not good. I need to restart now. That's really bad. Okay. I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to put the yolk back in. And I'm just going to set it aside to make an egg at a future time. So yeah. I'm going to transfer this into a different bowl because I need this bowl. But it's all yolk contaminated now, so I'm going to have to rinse this bowl really quick. My coulis is boiling once again, so I'm going to just stir it again, and that boiling should go down a bit. All right. Let's try this again. It's okay if you got a little bit of yolk left in there. Just a little. If it's too much, it's going to be bad. Okay, that was successful. Let's grab the yolk. And I'm just trying to play and kind of pull that white away from the yolk. No. Okay, I saved it. That was good. The yolk broke again, but I saved it just in time, so that was good. I'm gonna rinse off my hands. All right. Okay, I'm gonna lower the heat on my coulis because it's really bubbling now. And actually, no, I'm just gonna turn off the heat completely. It seems thick enough. All right, let's get 2 more eggs so that we can redo that. If you see that your yolk broke when you were putting it in your bowl, don't hesitate. Get your yolk out immediately. It's more important to have like a fully clear white than to have a little bit of white in your yolks. All right. Good. Stir this out, and we've got 1 more. I'm gonna rinse my hands so that I don't get the refrigerator contaminated. All right, last one. Let's hope it doesn't break. Oh no. Okay, you know what? There's a bit of yolk in there, but I got most of it out, and it's fine. It's not even a teaspoon of yolk, so it's not really gonna ruin my ability to whip my eggs. So I'm gonna throw away my eggshell, and we're gonna really wash our hands with soap and egg. All right. Now let's check on that chocolate. Cup holders. What? Okay. Looks better. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'll tell you one thing, the smell of melted white chocolate is not very pleasant, but I'm sure it'll taste good inside. Alright, so my chocolate is melted. I'm happy with this. So I'm going to set it aside. And let's whip those eggs. We only want soft peaks anyways on our eggs, so it's okay because I doubt that they will develop stiff peaks now that there's a little bit of yolk in it. But I think it'll be fine. Just like, play it by ear. If there's like, I'm going to say more than a teaspoon of yolk in your whites, scratch it and redo it. Oh my god, it's not putting in. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to take my whisk and we're going to whisk these until soft peaks form. Now, soft peaks, I will show you what soft peaks are. Basically what happens is when you whisk, when you mix your eggs, they start to get light and fluffy. Once they get light and fluffy enough, they will start to become stiff. Now, you don't want stiff peaks because that's not what we're going for. We want soft peaks. Soft peaks means that when you pick up your mixer, they droop. Stiff peaks means they totally stay in place. So let's get to soft peaks. You can see we're starting to get some form and shapes in our eggs. That's really good. Okay, those are pretty good soft peaks, and I'm going to just whip it for a little bit longer. You want it to be nice and glossy and shiny. That's what we're looking for. Alright, so this is how you measure your peaks. Once you've stopped whipping, just lift up your whisk. If it forms even the little tiniest bit of a peak and then droops, that means that you have soft peaks. And that is what we're aiming for. I'm just going to empty these blades. And now we're going to do something a little crazy. We're going to add the yolks to our melted chocolate slowly. So I'm going to just pour a bit in. Oh, that was true. Okay. So I'm just whisking it in, breaking up the yolks. You can see it's going to get chunky, but we want it to get fully combined. It's not a very pretty sight. When you're using like regular dark chocolate, it's gonna be like black and brown, basically. If you are making this with darker chocolate, which is totally fine, you can even incorporate the berry coulis. I just think that white chocolate tastes better with other flavors, and dark chocolate tastes better on its own. But if you are making it, use milk chocolate because this recipe has no sweeteners. It's just the chocolate. Look at that smoothness, right? Like it's so satisfying. Okay. Let's pour the rest of the yolks in and mix them into it. This is a resilient yolk. Just go. Whisking. This is a good arm workout. All baking is a good arm workout, honestly. Alright, this looks good. You can see it's like a little on the yellow side, but it's nice and smooth and it's combined. It almost looks like a custard. It's not a custard though, so don't eat it. Okay, so our next step is going to be to use a rubber or wooden spatula to fold our chocolate mixture in with our cake. We're going to go slowly. I'm adding about half in it first. And then I'm gently folding. I'm not going to fully combine it yet. Obviously, it needs to be fully combined in the end, but I'm going to just add the rest of my chocolate mixture for now. Look at those ribbons. Do you see them? I love ribbons. They're so nice. Right, I'm going to grab my bowl with my fingers like this. And I'm going to grab one of my spoons and just scrape out the excess. Alright. There we go. By the way, that berry coulis, we're not actually going to add that until we put it in the pan, because we kind of want to get like a bit of a marble. Smells like cake batter, actually, surprisingly. I made this cake last year during Passover with regular chocolate. It tasted so good. So if you just want to make it like plain and not add the twist, go ahead, because I mean, I think you'll love it. And especially if you celebrate Passover and you can't really eat brownies or anything, this is the recipe for you. Also, if you don't celebrate Passover, still make it, because it still tastes delicious and it's still like super easy and uses ingredients that you probably have in your home, even if you're not a baker. So now you can see I'm kind of going in a circular motion to scrape down the sides and get all those egg whites incorporated. There's still a lot of air in my batter, which is what I want, but I do want to get the egg whites fully incorporated with my chocolate mixture. So it should be like a pale yellow if you're using white chocolate. If you're using milk chocolate or dark chocolate, then it'll be like a dark brown. Alright. I think that's good. I'm going to now continue to the next step, which is getting a round cake pan. I'm going to get a cake pan. Sorry about that. So I've got my cake pan. Now I like to use cake liners. If you don't have any cake liners, just cut out a circle of parchment paper, or you can even just butter the sides. So I'm going to get my cake liner out. If you don't know what a cake liner is, they're these. They have little flaps at the end, and they have round circles like that. I'm going to get the greasy side. The greasy side, you can feel that it's greasy, and then the other side is a little matted. Also, the greasy side is shinier, if that helps. I'm going to get some butter just to stick it down. I like using butter because it just tastes better than vegetable oil. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to just spread my butter around the cake. Obviously, you don't have to get the full thing. You just need enough to stick down your parchment or your cake liner. And thank you to Tasty for supplying the initial recipe for me. I'm very grateful for that recipe, and it's really helped me a lot. Okay, so I'm going to take my cake batter, just pour it right into my pan. Again, 2 fingers, just like that. Actually, let's use 3. And I'll take my wooden spatula and I'll scrape out any excess that might be left behind. Alright. Now, I'm going to get my coulis, because we didn't forget about it, don't worry. And I'm going to take a spoon and just pour it all. Mine turned out like really thick. I think I should have like reduced the chunks a bit, but I think it's fine. It'll still be delicious. So I'm just gonna pour little chunks all around the cake, and then I'm just gonna mix it in with the spoon. So it won't be prominently berry tasting, but you'll like have little surprises of berries around it when you're eating it. Alright, I think that'll be good. And we're going to carefully, very carefully, place our cake in the oven. Alright, so we're going to set a timer for 30 minutes. 1 sec. Okay, so my 30-minute timer is set. I'm going to set aside any used dishes that we used in our cake, and we're going to begin on our next recipe. So, the next recipe, I think it's going to be delicious. I don't know if you've heard of these, but there are these things called macaroons. This isn't just specifically for Passover, though there are kosher for Passover ones that a lot of people nosh on, and they're delicious. So today I'm going to be sharing my recipe for no-bake coconut macaroons, and I think that they're going to be delicious and very nice and sweet. So this recipe is going to be using our butterscotch chips, our shredded coconut, our milk, and we'll use a bit of sugar just in case. So we're going to start off by making a ganache. And this ganache is not going to be a normal ganache. Our normal ganaches have like regular chocolate. This is going to be with our butterscotch chips. They're still going to create a ganache since they're basically the same thing, just not chocolate. And it's still going to be delicious. So I'm going to start by filling up my measuring cup with, like, let's say 1/4 a cup of butterscotch chips. That's about 1/4 a cup. That's nothing. 1/3 a cup. All right. And I'm going to pop this in the microwave for 30 seconds to melt. This is not a normal ganache. It's much less of a ganache and more just like melted chocolate with a bit of milk, because we still want it to be like chocolatey, so that, I mean not chocolatey, butter like hard, so that it can solidify our macaroons. In the meantime, we're going to put half a cup of shredded coconut into our bowl. Let's get a half a cup. Oh no. Oh no. It's fine. It's only a few shreds. We're not going to be making a ton, because I don't love making a ton, because I feel like you don't eat all of it right away and it just gets wasted. So I'm going to grab my chocolate, my butterscotch. I cannot call it chocolate because it is not chocolate. I'm going to get a metal fork, because as you probably know from this video and past videos, like small whisk is basically the same as a metal fork, except I think like a small whisk does a better job of like actually whipping the things together. Obviously, a fork is just for mixing. I'm going to put this in the microwave for another 30 seconds. And I'll begin to get my milk ready, basically meaning I take my milk out of the refrigerator. I'm going to be using half and half just because I like the taste better and it's like creamier. But you can totally use milk. You can use either one. We have this huge carton of half and half. Yeah. Alright, my chocolate. No, butterscotch is done. And it's hot, so I'm going to get pot holder. Not a cup holder, pot holder. And I'll take my fork and just mix it around. Very nice, very nice. So I'm going to take my tablespoon. This was just used for sugar, so I can reuse it. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of milk inside my butterscotch mixture. This is half and half, but you are probably using milk, so milk. 2 tablespoons. There we go. We're going to put it away. Because we don't need that anymore. But I'm going to grab my fork again, and I'm just going to whisk that in. So it might look really liquidy now, but it is still going to solidify, so it's fine if it's liquidy. You know what? I'm going to get my small whisk because it's kind of needed right now. I'm thoroughly washing it because it was in the eggs. Alright, that should be good. I'm just going to whisk this up. Has a bit of chunks, but that's totally fine. That should be good. So this is super easy, this part of the recipe. This recipe just in general is really easy. I'm going to just pour my mixture into the coconut. You know what? I may have made a bit too much. So I'm just going to mix this coconut in. As you can see, it's actually a really nice bonder for the coconut. Smells like a perfect blend between coconut and butterscotch. I'm going to pour a little bit more of the shredded coconut in, because it's a little too sticky for me right now. Alright, very nice. As you can see, we've got this dough-like texture, although it is still like coconut shreds, so it's pretty cool. The classic struggle of having stuff stuck inside your whisk. I'm going to take my fork and push it out. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to let this chill in the fridge for about 5 minutes. 1 sec. Alright, so we've got 5 minutes. I don't know if you watched one of my videos before, but I like to go through the entire process, not of just making it, but of cleaning too. So in the meantime, we're going to just clean. And as you probably know if you've watched my videos before, chat. So who is here that can chat? Let's see. Oh, alright, so who's excited for camp? Sleepaway camp. Who here goes to sleepaway camp? If you go to sleepaway camp, give this video a thumbs up. No one? Okay, well, I go to sleepaway camp, and I'm very excited because I have started packing, kind of. I have this whole very complex process to doing it. So, yeah. You can reuse this butterscotch syrup for something. I'm just going to set it aside for now because I'll probably think of something to do with it later. I might even make more macaroons, who knows. I'm just going to put all the stuff that should go in the sink in the sink. I'm going to check on my cake. Do not open the oven. Never. Just turn on your oven light if you have one. Let's see how it's doing. I can't really tell. It looks fine. I'm just going to push my sugar back into the cabinet. I don't know why I'm describing that to you. Alright. Put your ingredients away also, because we don't need any more ingredients. We're done with the ingredients. The only things we have left to do is like shape our macaroons and taste everything. I want to think of something quick to make while our macaroons will be chilling. I want to make more coulis because it's like jam. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my pan back. Need that pan. Chip clip. Or my chocolate chip. Ha! Chocolate chips. Chip clip. That's not what it was intended for. It's intended for like potato chips and tortilla chips. Yes, I did just say tortilla chips. That's the correct way to say it. Okay. Okay, so let's make some coulis, because coulis are fun. Alright. I'm going to take, let's do 6 strawberries this time. Ambitious, I know. And I'm going to grab them and let's just start pouring. You know what? I'm going to try actually going in from the top. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Smushing my strawberry. This isn't working. Okay, I'm just going in from the bottom. Oh, this one's juicy. Oh, look at that! That's beautiful. Look at that. You guys see that? It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love it. I'm tending to see that the shorter strawberries are the ones that go in the middle. Right, let's game this. Ooh, this stem is positioned really weirdly. This is not going to come out in the right place. Oh, kind of did. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, that's my macaron.
Your macaroons timer is done.
Let's take a break from the coulis and move back to our macaroons. Alright, definitely stiffened up. Feels very nice. I'm going to just wet my hands a little bit just to avoid getting them super sticky. You can like spray off the excess water, but don't dry off your hands. I'm just gonna go out, grab a plate for me to shape my macaroons in. Usually they're in like this shape, but I'm just gonna put them in balls because yeah, I'm gonna try to accomplish that shape. The water definitely helps, so I would definitely recommend having your hands wet. You would like to know where I got this trick from? It's from a matzo ball soup box. So, yep, that's what it's from. I'm going to shape it into balls first, and then I'm going to try and get the signature macaroni shape. Smells delicious. So these are not going to taste like normal macaroons. They're going to taste like butterscotch macaroons. So if you don't like butterscotch, don't make these. I mean, you can try toffee, you can try chocolate. You can substitute that ganache with any other chips that you've got, and it'll make some sort of macaroon. Maybe you'll discover a new invention of macaroon. If you guys could give this video a thumbs up and show me some support, that would be really awesome. If you're liking this video, if you're liking anything, even if your life is going good right now, just give this video a thumbs up. Alright. I made 6 macaroons. I'm happy with that. That's enough to feed my family and my grandparents. So I'm just going to rinse off my hands. Should I go for it? Should I go for the shape? I don't know. I'm going to try and make a pyramid. Alright, not bad. I feel like they just look better in balls, so I'm just going to keep them in balls. Okay, let's pop these in the refrigerator. I'm going to keep them in the refrigerator until the end of the video. Obviously, they should be in there for a little longer, but I want to be able to try them before this video ends, so yeah. Let's continue with our coulis, shall we? Alright, we're coring 6 ambitious strawberries. Ah, that was nice. I mean, it got part of the stem. Oh, look at that. It's just so satisfying to see, like, a tube of strawberry. I don't know why. Alright, let's throw this out. Okay. I'm gonna check how many minutes are left on my timer. Continue coring your strawberries or whatever berries you're using. So there are 11 minutes left. I think we'll be able to fill that time with this coulis / jam. I'm going to use this as jam. I'm going to make homemade jam. How cool is that? Obviously, if you want to make a full jar, you're going to need a lot more berries. But I'm fine with just a bit. Wow. I wonder if this is the way that they make jam. Tell me if you want a video where I make jam and or jelly. Because that's cool to me that you can just make homemade jam with a few ingredients. Jam or jelly? Post it in the discussion on my channel. I like jelly. I mean, no, jam. Jam's my favorite. Jelly's kind of more artificial, you know, with the gelatin. I mean, if you like Jell-O, then jelly's the thing for you. I'm personally not a fan of Jell-O that much. I think it's weird. Don't come at me, please. I just don't think Jell-O is amazing. Alright, I'm grabbing my potato masher. Mashing my strawberries. I'm gonna make them much less chunky this time. Because that's like very important if you want to get a nice smooth jam. You can't have any chunks. So if you really do want a nice smooth jam, just blend it in your food processor. That's the best way. It's the quickest way, and it's like going to make it a lot smoother. I just don't want to have to go through the hassle of like taking out the food processor, setting it up, washing the food processor. There are so many parts to wash of the food processor. So. A good way to mash your strawberries is to push in and then just wiggle them around so that you're really breaking that skin. What's really satisfying about making this coulis to me is that at first your mixture is like super cloudy, but then it becomes like this clear, like transparent, beautiful thing, and I love it. So, yeah. Right. These are pretty mashed, but I'm gonna keep going because I really want them to be basically completely mashed. I'm telling you, if you don't have this potato smasher and like you make mashed stuff a lot, you should get it. It's like very useful. This is how I make like the sweet potato casserole on Thanksgiving. It's like so easy since sweet potatoes are nice and soft. You can just make it just like that. By the way, in the future, I am going to be going back to school fully next week. So I can't promise that I'll be as active as I am right now. I can't promise a video every week. I will try my best, but I have like homework and after school activities and things like that. So that's going to be a bit of a struggle. Also, there will not be any videos during the summer as I will be away at camp. And there's no way for me to make videos at camp. So maybe I'll make a couple edited videos right before camp and like then have my family post it while I'm away. I mean, no promises. Please do not hold me to that because no promises. I'm going to add some lemon juice because I love my lemon juice. Where is my lemon juice? Where did I put it? I lost the lemon juice, you guys. Oh my god, it's been right here the whole time. Oh, hi, Lena. We're making jam. All right, I'm going to add more because I love my lemons. Again, guys, if you could give this video a thumbs up, that would be great. Show this channel some support. You want more videos? All right. That should be good. Let's put it over the heat. Again, medium heat. That's a 5. And now we wait. Okay. Thank you for the 1 thumbs up. We have a few more minutes. Let's check on our macaroons. Ooh, they're nice and hard already. That's great. I just knocked over a bin of Cheerios. It's not my fault because the Cheerio bin broke. Ugh. Okay. I'll clean that up later. Let's put the macaroons back in the refrigerator so that they can get even harder. Okay. I'm going to increase the heat on my coulis just so that it doesn't take so long to boil. The desserts are almost finished and then we can taste them. And we can enjoy them together. I hope that some of you are actually making them because if you're not, I feel like you're missing out on so much. I feel bad for you because you're missing out on these desserts. I will be right back. 1 second. Okay. Wait. Oh, my coulis is boiling. Perfect timing. I'm gonna stir it. So basically what we do is we stir it when it's boiling first. And then I like to take it off the heat for a second. Just let it cool off for a sec. And then I put it right back on the heat and let it reboil. I only do this once so that it can get as caramelized as possible. I'm going to check on my cake 1 second. Only 1 minute left on the cake. Perfect. The coulis is almost done. It boiled again, so I'm going to stir it. And once it looks like clearish, I'm just going to turn off the heat and let it just sit there. You guys like my nails? I did a red base with a gold dry brush. Okay. 1 more. That's it. Okay, let's get out the macarons so that we can get ready to taste everything. The cake is gonna still be really, really hot. I'm not gonna taste the cake. I'm just gonna show it to you guys because I want to show you that it actually works. Okay. I'm gonna get the cake out of the oven and I'll be back in a second. So I tested the cake and it doesn't look quite done yet, so I'm gonna put it back in the oven for probably another 10 minutes. But so we're probably not going to be able to taste the cake today, but we are going to taste the macaroons. We got a macaroon. It's delicious. It tastes like butterscotch and coconut, and it's so good. I love the texture. Very good. Okay. So I'm going to end the stream. I'll tell you in the discussion how the cake turned out. And yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.